Hello and welcome to Expletives Included. Today we're doing another Steven Universe Rewatch podcast. Today we're looking at episodes 51 and 52, and they are The Return and Jailbreak.
Indeed they are, Daniel.
Okay, you see, with the last episode I got it down spot on, and after raising the bar I thought I'd lower it again for our final episode.
Yep. So, The Return, first aired March 12th, 2015. Written and storyboarded by Raven Malsey and Paul Vilko, and directed by Ian Jones Quarterly.
Yes, for our final episode we're going to do everything just completely over the top. It's not like we've been recording all day and are both extremely tired.
Oh, I've got a song planned for the end.
I'm sure it will be glorious.
Did Sinatra?
Okay, I think I might know the song you're talking about, but I can't remember if it's Sinatra or not. Definitely could be. Yes, this is our final episode. Or the third one we're recording today.
Yeah, well, it's the final episode of Season 1, and we're going to go on a break after this.
Yes, we're just going to play games.
And until at least, Season 2 has finished.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just gonna... I'm just gonna blitz through Season 2 because I can't wait that long.
No.
I'm sure that you'll all be able to understand.
Yeah. All of the 0 of you who listen to this show.
Hey, we get at least 6 people listening. And what with our attempts' newfound popularity, maybe even more.
No one's listened to the last episode yet.
What? Oh.
Yeah.
Well.
So.
Okay.
Let's end this well.
Let's end this well.
Ride fiery and chrome burning into Valhalla.
Indeed. So, we're in Beach City.
Demanding the bits.
Because Steven is starting yet another episode with Greg.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Greg of late.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I like that too.
So, it's Stephen, Greg, and Petey.
Mm-hmm.
Has a real early Season 1 vibe, this scene, to me.
Because it's all... Well, it's Petey. We've kind of seen him, but he's always in bit parts. He's even in a bit part in this one as well, but it's...
But, it's because he's got responsibilities. Also, I kind of feel that in the exchange, because Greg's complimenting Petey on, how responsible he is, running and closing up shop by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Steven's like, bitch, I am a crystal gem. I defend the Earth every day from alien threats.
Don't do the voice.
Why not?
You don't do it well.
I know, I don't do any voices well.
The only winning move is not to try.
Strange game. Would you like another game?
What did I just say, Keir? What did I just say?
Well, we're referencing War Games.
So...
Which I assume is a movie you've seen.
Very long time ago.
Yeah, it's not really worth rewatching at this point. So... Basically,
a giant green hand appears in the sky.
Yeah, and we have actually what would happen if a high velocity object entered the atmosphere.
All of the glass shatters?
Yeah, and localized earth tremors. It's actually one of the reasons why it's generally agreed that we won't ever have lots of spaceships. The idea of a spaceport is a highly unlikely thing to have. We're far more likely to have space planes or a space elevator going up to a orbital platform of some kind. Because the amount of damage caused to the atmosphere by regular impacts like that would be quite devastating.
Which would be bad.
Well, not to mention all manner of ionization due to the various propellants and the like. Anyway. So there's a giant goddamn hand pointing at
Just pointing right at the gems.
And it's like, you! Yes, you. I see you.
Yes, I see you, Mayor Dewey.
I know what you did last summer, Mayor Dewey.
Because Stephen goes back to the gems, and they kind of decide that the best thing to do would be to evacuate the city. And so,
Yes.
Stephen calls in his political favour.
Yes.
Again, a callback to when Greg and Stephen watched Mayor Dewey's automobile.
Yes. And a reference to the previous Mayor Dewey episode we had.
Yeah, but he said that Stephen wasn't getting paid.
Yeah. So
I'm assuming it's a reference to political favours.
Yeah. Also, this is just a quick note. When he's calling Mayor Dewey, see on the phone, below Mayor Dewey is PD, above Mayor Dewey is Lion, in Stephen's contacts list.
No, I'm sure I saw Onion.
No, it's Lion.
There was definitely Onion on the phone. I thought Onion was below Mayor Dewey.
Quite possibly, I just noticed. Possibly. It was just, I saw Lion, it's like, Lion doesn't have a phone.
I missed Lion. I was too busy making sure Onion didn't try anything.
Because he might come out the phone.
Would you put it past him?
So he's basically Bob from Twin Peaks.
Would you put it past him?
No, not at all.
Come
on, he was going to break a motherfucker's leg last episode.
He was. Not just any leg. Mayor Dewey's leg.
Yeah, probably both of them. Just smash his kneecaps
also,
up.
count as it one for the word.
What word? Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm just assuming that we won't kind of say it again for the rest of the episode, and then at the end we'll just both say it, just to bring us up to 3, just to close us out. That's what I'm aiming for.
Yeah. So
Mayor Dewey kind of explains that he doesn't like giant fingers being pointed at him as a mayor. It's an occupational hazard.
Yes. So Mayor Dewey arranges the evacuation of the town, and the gems pack Stephen's bags into Greg's van.
Which Stephen is kind of disheartened by.
Well, he's a gem warrior.
Yeah, but, Garnet kind of explains that, she knows that we're going too far into it. She basically just explains that he needs to be with the humans as a calming presence, and just to kind of...
He needs to lead the humans to safety.
And if everything goes wrong, then it's kind of down to him to make sure that things are okay.
The last resistance of mankind.
Just like his mother did.
Except for he'll have pitiful humans instead of all-powerful gem warriors.
And it's totally not just saying that they don't trust him and that they need him out of the way.
I wouldn't say that they don't trust him, it's just that they don't want to see him hurt and want him safe. So, as they're driving away, Stephen and Greg have a conversation.
It's revealed that Rose and the gems originally came here to invade.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure Stephen is the only one who hasn't realised this by now.
I hadn't realised that.
Really?
Yeah. I'm dumb.
Did you not get that from the whole kindergarten situation?
Well, no, I realised that the gems came to invade, but for some reason it just didn't click that Rose was part of that invasion force.
Oh, okay.
Because she started the Civil War, she kind of fought against it, but if she didn't come here with the original intent to invade, why on earth would she be on Earth to start the rebellion?
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, just the entire story just kind of started when Rose rebelled.
Okay. So when she screamed freedom.
Yes.
So I'm now imagining Rose with a claymore. It's pretty badass.
But which is strange because I have recently said that quote, that saying, which was put out by someone who I can't remember, but it's the characters in a story, their lives don't begin and end with the film, with the TV show, with the media. They will kind of go on living, and they had lives before. And of course, Rose and the Gems were doing things before Rose's rebellion started, and that was most likely invading Earth.
Well, Amethyst wasn't, but yeah.
Amethyst wasn't, yeah. She hadn't been created.
Hmm.
But, yeah, I just didn't realise.
Okay. So, basically, explains the rebellion and how Rose was only able to save her closest friends.
Because of her shield and, like, not having enough range to kind of save everyone else.
Yeah, and then Stephen's like, well, they need my shield, I guess.
It's like, yeah, they need Rose's gem, they need me.
Then we get a moment of super strength from Stephen. He straight up smashes the glove box.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty tough.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
And sets off the airbag, so those things don't go off easily.
They do not. Otherwise that would be a pretty big flaw.
So
yeah.
imagine the amount of force Stephen used there.
Also, I think Greg looks a bit weird in this scene. Like when he's kind of getting really anxious about trying not to tell Stephen that the gems tried to come and invade.
His mother's an invading alien.
Yep.
Well, he seems a bit more beardy in this scene, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so.
A bit less kempt.
No, I just think the art was a bit weird.
So, Stephen is forcibly ejected from the car, and returns to the gems riding on Lion.
Because Rose wills it, maybe.
Because he must protect his family.
Yes, and
he wants his family back.
And so we kind of come back to Garnet and Opal. Opal being the fusion of Amethyst and Pearl. Amethyst and Pearl. Firing arrows at the spaceship quite ineffectually. And they exclaim, well, at least Stephen is safe.
It's like, no, I'm not.
No, I'm not. I'm right here.
God damn it, Stephen. So the ship lands in an overly convoluted way.
Really?
Yeah.
Explain.
Well, it sort of flips over, lands, then a Robonoid bubble comes up, rolls down to the thumb, to the pointing finger, that then shifts down to the ground, and then that reveals the gems inside.
I just think that makes perfect sense.
It seems a bit overcomplicated to me. So inside we have Peridot, Jasper, and Miss Lazuli.
Yay! Lapis is back. And
oh wait, she's awful.
What? She's not awful. She's she's a prisoner, essentially. And
anyway, Jasper is dismissive of everything and everyone.
It's like, I thought Rose was going to be here. I am disappointed.
I don't have a massive crush on Rose. I'll crush you.
I don't have a massive crush on Rose. I just wanted to kill her.
I just keep a picture with me at all times.
I really wanted to see her again. I was here in the First War. I'll just gush about the First War, just like Pearl did.
They could get together and nerd out over Rose. But anyway, so Jasper has a very interesting line when she looks at the crystal gems.
When she calls Pearl a defective Pearl?
A lost defective Pearl, a puny overcooked runt, and this shameless display.
Amethyst is an overcooked runt, as you said before, because she was in the kindergarten for too long, which is why she survived when the Earth got nuked from orbit, maybe? Ish?
And it's also possibly why she has more intelligence than she should.
Amethyst has more intelligence than she should?
It's sort of sometimes thought by the fandom that Amethyst's a sort of bulk-grown grunt shock troops.
Oh, so she's not supposed to have any intelligence at all, really?
Or at least not as much free will.
She's just supposed to know how to fight, and that's it.
Yeah. But there's been some stuff muddling that in a recent episode. But I actually need to rewatch that episode to go over it again for those points.
And then the vulgar display is Garnet because she's a fusion all the time.
Yeah, two tiny lesbians stacked together.
Mm-hmm. Genderless space rocks.
Yeah, because fusion totally isn't a metaphor for sex.
No, it's a metaphor for relationships.
Mm.
You can't be having sex all the time.
Oh, Garnet can.
Moving on.
So, yeah, basically, Jasper's like, sod this, just shoot them with the ship.
Shoot them with the lasers. Fire the laser.
But them little.
Okay, then we take a nap, and then we fire the laser.
So, yeah, why was that not their plan from the start?
Because Jasper wanted to meet Rose.
And wanted her autograph.
And then pulverize her.
Yeah, probably. So
Jasper's weird.
So Garnet's like, Stephen, run away, you puny thing.
You won't be able to survive this blast that we also won't be able to survive.
Yep. And
he's like,
Paradox.
No, shield.
Do you all forget I'm the support class here?
I am the only one who can save you. That's why I came back. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And then he does.
Yeah. He creates a big shield.
Mm-hmm. But he kind of overexerts himself and then kind of collapses.
Garnet gets defeated by Jasper's Gem Disabler.
Yes.
And then Jasper picks up Stephen and headbutts him. And that's the end of the episode, really.
That is. Yes. Oh, and it's maybe of note that the Gem Disabler splits Garnet in half, and then we kind of like see her two gems fall to the ground.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did want to talk about that moment. That's a really nice bit of animation. Well, let's start with that. Let's work backwards today.
No, that's silly. Let's go back to the beginning.
Scrolling up.
So yeah, we get more human stuff with PD. So I'm not sure if that's relevant. That kind of culminated in like the previous episode where Stephen is like, I know all of you, and you care more about kind of each other than you do about electricity. Which I'm dubious about, just given how much I know of Tumblr and current
Ronaldo.
affairs. And how much I know of Onion.
I don't think Onion needs electricity.
To have fun.
He
He just
prefers
needs a
fire.
baseball bat.
He just needs fire.
Just like Primal Man.
Primal Man, Onion will hunt you down.
Also, when PD says, don't patronize me, his face goes weird as well.
There's a lot of weird faces in this episode. I actually feel like the animation was a bit rushed in these two episodes.
This was the end of the Stephen bomb, and you do say that like Cartoon Network is possibly pushing too hard, like when they do stuff like this.
They're doing some weird scheduling things. These episodes would have been written and sort of done a lot in advance. I think they might have brought back the date of these two, yeah. It's just, it seems like some of the animation was rushed, but there were some really nice moments that looked like they were worked on for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's sort of... The expressions overall suffered, but there were some very nice bits of the show. Which is a shame. I think maybe like if they'd had a month or two more, it would have all evened out.
At least some bits would have been much improved.
Yeah.
Anything you wanted to say about the human element, PD and Greg?
Not really.
Then we move on
it's just...
to the hand.
Yeah.
And
that's a really cool design for a spaceship.
It is.
I mean, entirely superfluous.
I mean, there's no, like... You don't really need aerodynamics in space. But...
And also, given it shows that all the joints are sort of maneuverable and the internal stresses that might cause, but it also shows the level of gem tech that they can be frivolous to that extent. Also, it's sort of generally thought that there's eventually going to be another ship that comes. There's going to be the rest of the body.
That would be creepy.
Yeah, they sort of think it might be a temple-esque gem figure.
Yeah, that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So the the ancient gem ship that we find in season 2 isn't like this.
No, it's very different.
Ah.
It's actually a lot more classic.
So,
But I think it's sort of meant to highlight the complete difference in tech.
that makes sense. Because, yeah, it's been a few thousand years.
I mean, I was proved wrong on this, but I originally thought Peridot was actually maybe a ship's AI.
Because, yeah, like, the ship is her colour.
Yeah.
But she is just, like, the tech person, so...
She's just a tech gem.
Someone just... Does she make these spaceships?
Maybe that's what the Peridot class is, you know. Construction.
Yes, the engineer.
Yeah, the Engie.
The NG. They were just bloody annoying in Team Fortress.
Oh, he's a great character to play.
So annoying.
So-
we've got the Cortazine trio, and we've also got like the singular laser light cannon,
The Greg cannon.
the Greg cannons, which are all activated with the code word or the code phrase. If every pork chop were perfect, then we wouldn't need hot dogs.
Yeah.
Which is unusual.
You know, Rose likes a theme.
Yeah, but I'm sure that like these cannons would have been around before Greg.
I'm sure Rose reprogrammed them.
Hmm.
I just like the fact there's a really nice bit of animation there, where the Cortadine trio sort of set up and sort of in this really nice automated system.
Mm-hmm.
Then Amethyst sort of pushes the singular one on a little cart, it's like, and sets it up. It's like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And then like all of the beams from the cannons, like all 4 cannons, do kind of merge into like the one thing with all of like the dancing figures.
Yeah, that's one of the bits I think was rushed.
Really? Well,
There wasn't as much details when we first saw
I
it.
was going to say it is very nice. It's still like a very good shot, but yeah, compared to like the first laser light cannon, that was that. Had
I mean,
a
I
bit
realise
more
they can't.
attention.
I realise they can't spend as much time on it as they would, as they did in the first one, but it just seemed like the shot itself was a lot more simplistic.
Yeah, it still looked nice. It was still pretty. I still enjoyed
Yeah,
watching it.
It's still a nice concept. Of course, it's totally ineffective, but
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, but it's like really cool because, well, later on with Opal's, like arrow barrage, it doesn't do anything. It just stays as the hand, like in place. But with the laser light cannon, Cortazine trio barrage, it kind of opens. It opens up and it's like talk to the hand.
Yeah, it sort of does a Buddhist palm.
It's just like no.
Which, you know, probably is a defensive maneuver or something. So the internal field dynamics of that ship would be very weird.
I'm sure it has some kind of artificial gravity. Otherwise, they would just be like, damn, do we have to move? Hold on to something.
Or maybe each room has got its own internal gyroscoping. Because we see in the next episode, there's quite a bit of stuff between each room. Or at least between each deck.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or maybe all of the rooms inside the hand are extra dimensional, like the temple.
That's true, because they do look a lot bigger than the hand, don't they? Like when they come out of the... When they come out of the...
And also
orb
there's...
and they're standing there.
Also there's sort of domes and windows and such throughout.
And you don't see any windows, like, actually from the hand.
On the ship. Yeah.
I think that theory could possibly be correct.
Which would explain why it has such a silly way of doing things.
Yes.
So, also I really like the colour transition when they're by the ship.
Oh, just like where everything is green.
Yeah. I mean, I know they've done this before, like with the red eye. But I think that's a really nice effect to show the sort of overwhelming power of a thing.
Yeah. Even when you can't see it, it's there.
Yeah.
And it's kind of bigger than everything else.
So, right, what's next? What should we talk about next? Stephen leaves a message for Connie.
That was this episode?
Yep.
That's excellent setup for the punchline next episode.
And also the first episode of season 2. It's directly the consequences of that. Hmm. It's actually, well, it's the episode where Stephen becomes an edgelord.
That doesn't sound good.
Hmm. He takes advice from Ronaldo. What do you think?
Oh, why would he do such a thing?
Because he's Stephen.
Hmm.
He still respects Ronaldo.
Well, I don't know. I think that Ronaldo would have got like a certain degree of respect back after, like, the Lighthouse episode. I mean, sure, he did try to kill Lars, but
who hasn't?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised Sadie hasn't used her fish murdering skills.
Mm.
So
yeah, basically Stephen says, "Hey Connie, it's Stephen. Just seeing what you're up to. Don't know if you know, but there's some crazy stuff going on with the giant space hand, and we all might die. So I guess call me back, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye."
Worst possible message.
Yep. He didn't even tell her that he loves her.
I think they're saving that for a special occasion.
Because giant green hand in the sky just isn't... End of season 1 isn't special enough.
Well, yeah, because this is the first time he calls the gems his family.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he's called them his friends before. But I'm pretty sure this is the first time he's referred to them as his family.
What about... Like, even when they all transform into... Malachite?
Alexandrite.
Alexandrite. And they pretend to be his mum.
I don't think he ever says it, "You're all my family." Though he does audition them to be the perfect mom.
I don't know. I can't remember, but... Because it's definitely implied. Surely it is.
It's certainly the most heartfelt time he says it. So let's move on to the fight. Basically, after Stephen has used his shield, that's when Jasper gets interested.
Yes, he's like, that's Rose's stuff.
That's her shield.
That's her
shield. That's her
shield.
My God,
that's
is she
her
here?
Design. That's her ability. Are you Rose? And
Why are you so tiny and ugly
and weak? Yes, and he realizes that Stephen's human, because like Lapis is like, he's just a human. He's not part of this. Leave him alone.
I'm not sure.
Because he says like Yellow Diamond will have to see this.
She, but yeah.
Oh, say again?
She, but yeah.
What did I say?
He.
No, I said Yellow Diamond will have to see this.
Yeah, you said she will have... She said that Yellow Diamond will have to see this.
Oh.
You were referring to Jasper in the masculine.
Can you blame me? She's very masculine.
And
I don't think I mind if I insult her, because she's awful.
It's always best to use correct pronouns.
She's agender. She has no gender.
Yes, but they have preferred pronouns of female.
Does anyone ever refer to Jasper as female in this episode?
No, but in the Steven Universe Guide, written by Rebecca Sugar, she is referred to as a she.
What does Rebecca Sugar know? Shut up.
Dare you disagree with the Dark Lord Sucrose?
Look, I made a mistake, okay? Jeez. As I said,
anyway.
We've been recording all day, and I'm tired.
Yeah. So, anyway, Stephen's cowering in fear of this giant murderess. And then Garnet steps up. And gets broken in two by a gem destabilizer.
Yeah, that went very well.
It's a really cool piece of animation.
Yeah, like... It's quite horrifying. Lines sort of split down her middle, and she sort of falls backwards looking at Stephen as her eyes part. And it's like circuit board, like yellow lights from like the direct split going down the middle kind of branch out across her face and body, and
it's very angular and whereas most of the traditional gem designs are more fluid and natural. Very nice design work by the team here.
Yes, well done. You've made the terrifying tragic death of Garnet very, very pretty.
Yeah, but there is beauty in death.
This is terrifying.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not the most terrifying thing to happen in the show, but
No.
still.
I mean, might even put that in the next episode.
Really?
Most disturbing? I don't know. Weird stuff happens.
Yeah, and season 2 gets weirder.
Mm.
So, yeah, Garnet falls apart into one red gem, one blue gem,
Mm-hmm.
and then she knocks Stephen the fuck out.
Yep. With a headbutt, because Jasper's weapon is a helmet.
Yeah, that's the one disappointing thing about her character.
Really? It still
Yeah.
worked kind of well, I think.
It's just kind of doofy.
It is kind of doofy, and it does make me think of the I don't know who sang it, but it was just like that song ooh ah ting tang walla walla bing bang.
Oh yeah,
And they had
who
like
was
the
that?
really doofy hair. It is
Yeah,
a bit
Aqua.
reminiscent of that. Was it Aqua?
Yeah, I think so.
They did the
They did Barbie Girl.
yeah. Could have been
So-
that. It was
It's
same
of that
time
era.
zone. It's same era, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's the music my sister liked.
Mm.
To be honest, it sort of reminds me of Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo was cool.
Not really,
He was the most manly of men.
apart from that one episode where he became a woman.
Yeah.
Then he was the most manly of women.
He was indeed.
Yeah, no, I just think, while it's a cool match to Garnet,
Mm-hmm.
sort of the heavy bludgeoning instrument,
Yeah.
and I think it might have been foreshadowed in the massive foreshadowing temple.
The massive foreshadowing temple?
Yeah, the pyramid.
I don't remember Helmet Head in the temple.
If you look in the background, they're sort of gem warriors.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of the larger figures have weird helmets.
Mm.
So that might be a reference to Jasper, I don't know. But I kind of wish she'd had something a bit more intimidating as a weapon
Yeah.
than just, here is my goofy helmet. I mean, it's a good thing she has no spinal column.
Mm. Also, Jasper is quite the giant woman.
Mm,
She's probably about
She's-
as tall as Rose, I would say. Maybe a bit smaller, but
just slightly,
because she's taller than Garnet,
yeah. Also, her gem is her nose.
which is a weird design. It's quite off-putting.
Yeah. I wonder how she smells.
Awful.
Well done.
Your jokes are bad, and you should feel bad.
Yeah. There's even worse comics.
Say again.
There's even worse comics about it.
Hmm.
There's this one where Stephen's talking to Pearl and he's like, so Jasper's gem is her nose? Does that mean she gets gem boogers?
Ah,
And then
Stephen,
Pearl
no.
replies, Stephen, your mother asked me that same question 6,000 years ago.
The answer is still no.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's how you redeem that joke, because that's an awful joke. But if like Pearl did say it's like the answer is still no, I think that would have made it like much better.
Hmm.
That's how I would alter that joke, that comic.
Okay. Well, that's Comedy Advice Hour by Dan Maestri.
Yep.
Nitpicking your comedy routine since 2015.
I've been doing it much earlier than that.
Longer than that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think we need to move on swiftly to the second episode.
Do we? I mean, they're like again, like talking about the design elements of this. There are parts where like they're trying to get Stephen to go away because they don't want him to get hurt, and it's just Pearl and Amethyst just kind of tearing up
Breaking
and
up.
being all weepy and
Yeah. Yeah.
awesome animation bits. It's always fun.
It's very well conveyed sadness.
Mm. And although like things are happening and stuff's happened, this is still like a build-up episode. it's still all building up to like
Yeah.
the end fight, and it's well, we've got it's the monomyth, it's the hero's journey kind of thing. So we've got, because we start off with everything, we've started off with like normalcy. We've got Greg and Stephen going to the Fryman place to get the bits.
The Fryman's Friary.
The Fryman's Friary to get the bits.
I wouldn't say it's the hero's journey. I'd say it's just a classic escalation.
And then we get like something. We get everything changing. We get the outward impulse, the giant hand in the sky.
Yeah,
We have. Well, we already had the death of the mentor figure. Rose died a long time ago.
Well, she's not really Stephen's mentor, though.
No, but Stephen isn't the one. Stephen isn't the hero. Garnet is.
You see, I'd say Garnet is the mentor when she dies.
No, but you see, the hero has to go through the metaphorical death.
Yeah, that's when he's knocked the fuck out.
Yes, but Garnet actually dies and then gets better.
Because immortal gem warrior.
Exactly.
I don't think that the monomyth is strictly applicable to these two episodes, Dan.
No, because she dies and then she beats the main bad guy.
Yes, but where was the divining hand of the mother goddess?
I've already explained. Rose has already died.
Where was the gift bestowed by the mother goddess?
It was when... Well, obviously, Garnet is the mother goddess as well, because she's Garnet, and the gift is her visor, which she gives back to herself once she's reforged.
No.
Yes.
I'm afraid.
Yeah. Are you saying that Garnet can't be the hero and the mother goddess?
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm simply saying you would fail any kind of lit crit by using this argument.
I think that if we look at it, and if we are actually going by like stereotypical designs, then I think Ruby is definitely the hero and Sapphire is the mother goddess.
I don't know. You know, Sapphire can talk it.
She can talk it?
Yeah, she's really fast.
Yeah, she is. But I think Ruby, just from her design, is definitely the fighter.
She's an eternal flame. Yeah, I'm sure you look forward to seeing them again.
They are adorable.
Tiny lesbians, I told you.
Tiny lesbians are adorable.
So we need to move on to this second episode before your tangent goes into even sillier grounds.
Okay. Fine.
So Jailbreak.
Jailbreak.
First
where everything
broadcast
explodes.
into song.
Yes.
First broadcast, March 12th, 2015. Written and storyboarded by Joe Johnson, Jeff Liu, and the Dark Lord Sucrose herself, Rebecca Sugar.
She came back to see how it all ends.
And directed by Ian Jones. Quarterly.
Because he's everywhere.
Yeah, because he just runs the show, I'm pretty sure. So, Stephen wakes up in jail with more hurts and explored orifices than he knows what to do with.
We don't know that. We just know that he wakes up with the hurts.
A big black eye.
Yeah, the artwork is kind of... It's quite I don't know. It's a bit odd. I don't like him when he's hurt. His eye is all puffy and it's... Stephen.
Oh, Stephen.
Oh, Stephen. But he manages to escape his prison cell because he's not actually a gem. He's human.
Yes, he can defeat gem technology.
Because it's designed by gems for gems. And he's technically not. So he can just walk through it. He can walk through the force field.
He's
Bit
like,
of an
I'm
oversight.
the technicality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the technicality.
And also, I think that Stephen's head looked quite big on this. Just like when he first escapes and he's like, "Woo, go me!"
I imagine it's just an amount of swelling.
Possibly. He did get headbutted by a gem weapon.
Well, no, it was just Jasper's head. But I suppose her whole body is a weapon. Also, I really like the design when he passes through the force field.
Oh yeah, because he gets like all of the kind of circuit boardery
All the
design
lines
stuff on
and
him. Yeah.
yeah, I think that looks pretty cool because it shows that it is affecting him,
Mm-hmm.
just not as much as it should do.
Yeah. And whenever he kind of gets out, or if he's under it, then he goes all tingly.
Yeah, though it is fairly short-sighted of them to, only have tech that affects gems.
That's because humans aren't important. Other life forms, they just don't compare to gems.
I guess.
I'm pretty sure that if Stephen didn't have Rose's gem, he probably would have just been killed.
Yeah, by Jasper's headbutt.
That too.
So do you just think it's because he's sort of in the middle that he can get through?
Well, no, I think it's just because he's in the middle that the gems just didn't kind of disregard him as unimportant and either just leave him or not kill him outright.
Well, I'm just sort of saying, it's not just Stephen, it's just like, why would you have a force field that only affects your own kind? What if you have to take other prisoners from different races?
I'm saying that they're very arrogant and very dismissive of everything else as beneath them and unimportant. They wouldn't take prisoners because there would be no need, because the Diamond Authority would just wipe out everything.
So you're saying they're space racists?
Yes.
Spacists, if you will.
No.
Spaces.
Even Pearl still has remnants of this space racism in her.
Though, to be fair, it is for humans, and I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you met, say, a Vulcan...
then, I don't know. Why would you want to imprison Vulcans?
Because they're Vulcans.
Okay, and then also they came to Earth to deal with the gem problem. If they were at war with the Vulcans, then I'm sure they would have tech that would deal with Vulcans.
So you're saying all of their spacecraft is highly specialised?
It wouldn't surprise me.
Interesting.
Seeing as this is just the hand.
Maybe
true. Different parts of the body have different barriers. Who knows? Too many variables.
Yeah. Though, I just realised something that might happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it will, or that it, on any scale. It's just something that could happen if the theory about the body-shaped spaceship happens.
Mm-hmm.
Mech fight in space.
That would be cool.
Like jumping off asteroids and punching one another.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
And it turns out that the temple is actually an old sort of version of this that was experimental 6,000 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then they fight the modern one. And because they believe in Stephen, they win.
Because that's how anime works.
Yeah, you believe in the power of friendship and you win.
So Stephen finds Ruby.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, damn it, I am angry.
Basically going through heroin
withdrawal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're not, I don't know. We're not supposed to know that she's half of Garnet yet.
But she has an afro.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we're supposed to have realised yet.
I mean, I can forgive Stephen because he's probably got a concussion.
He's probably got a concussion, and he has no idea that Garnet is a fusion.
Anyway,
and he has no idea that, they wouldn't have extra gems imprisoned her.
So Stephen releases Ruby,
Mm-hmm.
and they rush to find Sapphire. And on the way, they find Lapis Lazuli, who is just being awful.
Is she just being awful?
Yeah, I think she's so defeatist in this situation.
Yeah, but she is being defeatist, but is that really that awful? She...
You never give up.
You never give up, sure. And if you were in her position, you would go down fighting.
Or at least chewing on the leg of my captor, yeah.
Your death would be slow and painful.
Yeah, it would. But that would give me more chances to escape and enact my revenge.
These people aren't Bond villains.
Did you not see Jasper's cloak?
Yes, but These people aren't Bond villains.
It was a cloak with a mandarin collar.
And she would still take destroying you very, very seriously.
I doubt it. I'm a squishy human.
Yeah, you wouldn't even get a chance to get close.
Yeah, I mean, she could just flick her finger and I'd be crushed in two.
Yeah. You would be spliced in twain with her bludgeoning weapon.
Yes, that's how powerful she is. She would double crit me.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lapis is, let's just go back to Homeworld and die.
Well, she's not saying let's go back to Homeworld and die. She's like saying, if we don't piss these guys off too much, then they might be lenient.
Maybe they'll only do the daily bludgeoning.
Well, I don't know what she's suggesting will happen to them, but, if you do, just go out of your way to annoy them, then they're going to be incredibly harsh. But for Stephen, if they aren't as awful as they appear to be, then Stephen had no choice in what happened to him. They're just... And, I don't know. It's probably naive to say that they might go easy on him, but... Because he is a half-breed freak, but...
And also half of, probably one of the Homeworld's greatest criminals.
But he's not, so it's... I don't know.
Well, he's half Rose.
Well, he is. He's definitely half Rose, but... I don't know. This is all unprecedented, and they will have no idea, what's happened.
I still think Lazuli should have taken the opportunity. Because she didn't believe in Stephen, that's why.
She hasn't had enough interaction with Stephen yet.
They were summer fun time buddies.
They were. For one
that
summer.
That means something, Dan. Something deep down.
Mm-hmm.
You don't make fart noises all day with someone.
And
for it to mean
that's why
nothing.
she called him to warn him. And that's why she's telling him to do what she thinks is the best thing to do, whether she's wrong or not, which she is. But it's what she thinks is best, and it's why the end of the episode happens. And what else? And it's why she didn't tell Jasper that he was a half-breed freak.
Anyway, let's carry on.
They leave Lapis to kind of mope in her cell.
And then they find... Wait.
Well, then Ruby runs off saying, I don't have time for this. I need to find Sapphire.
One and the same.
They're the same thing.
Pretty much.
But then Stephen kind of tries to find friends, and he finds Sapphire first.
Yeah.
Because...
After Peridot and Jasper have sort of just been shouting at her, and they're fighting over what's important. Peridot's job or reporting the...
Peridot's job or Jasper's thirst.
Yeah, Jasper's crush.
Jasper's thirst. I love thirst. That's just such a great word.
Yeah.
How long has it
been?
I don't even know. I don't know how long it's been around. I think
it's actually a reference to SpongeBob, but
What?
Yeah.
All of this time, you've just been letting me say it.
Yeah, but early SpongeBob when it was good.
No such time.
Relative. It's still going on.
Yeah, but...
It's like how Fairly Odd Parents is still going, somehow.
You've been letting me make references to SpongeBob.
Yeah.
After this episode, I don't think I continue on with this with you.
Well, I assume it's SpongeBob. There's a reaction image with it that's from SpongeBob, but I could be wrong.
I'm going to go on the assumption that you're wrong. For the good of the Steven Universe Rewatch podcast, there will be more episodes.
Well, maybe there won't. We don't know.
Maybe there won't. We'll see. We'll let SpongeBob decide. Oh God, I feel dirty just saying it. Just saying his name fills me with disgust.
Well,
But yes. So Ruby doesn't have future vision. Or at least she doesn't have it very good. Because when she is looking for Sapphire, she's like, I can't see. And I'm fairly sure that's like in reference to not kind of seeing like the outcomes of like what happens if she would kind of go through that corridor, whatever. She can't find her right away. Which I'm wondering if it's like a Sapphire ability, which is why she's singing, or whether it's just a fusion ability. As if they both have like a minor affinity for future vision, that might kind of explain why Ruby still tries it.
I think it's because they've been together so long that they've sort of, maybe Ruby has gotten used to being able to be able to see the future automatically, and now she's alone. She's like, oh, why can't I see the future?
I don't have heroin. Why can't I see colours? Hear colours? Smell colours? I don't know. But yes. And after Stephen kind of gets Sapphire out... Actually, no, just doesn't Sapphire go straight towards Ruby? With her super speed?
Yes, she does.
So maybe Sapphire does have future vision-ish.
I think it's Sapphire who has the future vision, and it's Ruby who's just uber strong.
So they find Ruby.
From what I can see, thirst did not originate with
SpongeBob.
Yeah. It appears to be pre-SpongeBob.
That's good. Wait, pre-SpongeBob?
Yeah, the earliest on news that's been found online is from 2003.
I've only ever discovered it recently.
From my usage.
I'm not sure. But it's kind of like the same as salty, which has nothing to do with thirst, but it's just...
It's a similar phrase.
It's a similar phrase that's kind of newish to me.
Kind
of.
All this modern slang of the kids.
Which just works.
Yeah.
But yes. And then their thirst is quenched, and they have their snuggles and their kisses, and their romantic reunion.
And then they reform Garnet, who is uber happy.
Yes.
She is just all of the sparkles.
She is all of the sparkles. And all of the smiles, and all of the kisses.
And also, I really like her voice acting when she comes back and she thanks Stephen. It just feels really heartfelt.
Same when they reunite.
The two voice actresses do a really good job together. And then Stephen saves Amethyst and Pearl.
Garnet gives him future vision, which she can do just like whenever she wants. Which is weird.
Well, we've already seen that.
Yeah, we've already seen it, but it's weird that she can just kind of pass on that power, I think.
Well, they're a weird mixture. It's actually been revealed in the Guide to the Crystal Gems by Lord Sucrose that different gems fusing together is considered a weird thing and wasn't really done before the war.
As in, like, pearls would only fuse with pearl?
Yeah. As a sort of way of boosting strength, I think, or something.
That's fair enough.
I don't know. It's only briefly mentioned.
Keep relationships pure.
Who knows? But I think sort of
purer gems pure. To not lower themselves to kind of fuse with lesser gems.
Well, Diamond Authority does kind of sound a bit Nazi-ish. But it sort of means that Garnet's kind of weird and unpredictable. It's like why she has lightning powers.
Well, that's just because she's in tune with the elements of the universe.
She is a level 20 monk.
And then Jasper finds them, and she's like, "I'm gonna mess you up."
And then we get the awesome song of awesomeness.
Yes. which has been famous on the internet, and I saw a long while ago.
I know, but listening to it again today was just like, oh, that's why I like this show.
Just for this one song that appears in episode 52.
No, just for these moments of where a character can burst into song and it feels natural somehow.
And then she does all of the sexy dancing as well, just to kind of enrage.
Well, yeah,
Jasper.
because Jasper's single.
Yep. And, Garnet just mocks her with it.
And it's just a really nicely choreographed fight scene.
And then, of course, we've got the other things going on. We've got Stephen fighting Amethyst and Pearl. And
then them capturing Peridot.
Remarkably easily.
Was Peridot?
Yeah, she's not a combat gem.
She's not even a tall gem.
No. She's very short. She would not be the tallest.
No.
She would not lead the Urkin Empire.
I still think that's the best system of government.
Yeah.
We both agree in our mighty 6-foot selves.
Yes. Height is by far an awesome measure of awesomeness.
It is clear. Stature is clearly what one measures for when deciding who should lead.
Yeah.
There's no wonder Ben hates us so much.
He is short.
He is basically Zim.
He's basically Zim. He really is.
So
yeah, Garnet messes up Jasper through the power of song. Throws her into the engine.
Yep, throws her into the warp drive. Amethyst wraps up Peridot in her whip.
But she escapes in a escape pod.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous.
Which they don't fire lasers at because there was no life signs on it.
Very nice. But no, it's just sort of the way she activates the escape pod is she mashes her head into the floor.
Yes. Which is quite excellent.
Now she sort of wiggles away, then mashes her head into the floor, so it must be that specific spot. Why would you design an escape pod like that?
For this exact situation.
And then Peridot blasts off out of the ship.
And then she's flicked away by the giant hand.
If only. And sadly, my favourite fan theory of all time, which resulted from this, does not come true.
Oh?
Well, fans took the shot of Peridot leaving the ship and plotted her trajectory. And it looked like she'd splashed down in Canada. So then there was a bunch of images of Canada Dot, which is Peridot blending into Canada.
But that doesn't happen.
No, it makes me sad. It was funny. She wore flannel and a toque.
So then we kind of get... Lion kind of disrupts the rubble that's kind of surrounding the gems because they're bubbled.
Yeah, because the ship crashed in a really nicely drawn bit.
And then it exploded in another nicely drawn bit.
Yeah. There are a lot of explosions.
And then Jasper survives as well, even after being thrown into an engine.
Which is that's pretty badass. I mean...
Not even cracked, a little bit.
Well, she's a bit messed up, but...
It's a bit messed up.
Her gem's fine.
Yeah. Her nose is fine.
Both her and Garnet are a bit messed up from their fight, but otherwise they're fine. Which makes me think, was Stephen the only one who really needed to be in that bubble?
Probably. Because Lapis is fine as well.
Yeah, it's like, God damn it. Was I really needed, guys?
Well, he did shield at the start.
Oh, yeah. I guess they wouldn't have survived.
And they wouldn't have been able to escape the cells either.
True, he was very needed. So, then...
now Jasper gets really salty about losing.
Yeah. It's like, it's not because I'm single, it's because it's unfair about fusions.
Yeah.
You. tiny child. Fuse with me.
Lapis isn't a tiny child.
Jasper refers to her as a brat.
Does she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. Lapis tries to fly away, and then, like, Jasper is just like, yeah, no.
No, we're gonna fuck.
Yeah. This is what I was talking about. Jasper gets rapey.
Well, it's a kind of revenge rape on Lapis's part, almost.
Revenge rape? What?
Well, Lapis kind of lets Jasper do it.
Yeah.
Because but then takes control when they form Malachite.
Mm-hmm.
Which is this huge, ugly thing that's made of hands.
No legs, just hands.
Well, arms and hands, yeah.
Mm.
No feet. It's weird.
Feet.
And then Lapis is like, and to the bottom of the ocean with us! Splush.
Yeah, that's... She basically... Yeah. But are we just gonna, like, breeze over the fact that Jasper is all rapey?
That's why I say it's revenge rape.
Yeah, but, like...
Because I'd say it's actually Lapis who's rapey.
Really?
Because she's refusing to let them unfuse.
Yeah, but... I don't know, that's like saying that in political espionage, if you let someone rape you and then you assassinate them, that you're the rapist.
It's more... Someone tries to rape you, then you rape them back.
Is that even possible? It's weird.
Yeah. It's a weird, horrifying situation, the sexual politics of which we will not be able to dig through today.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Lapis isn't letting Malachite unfuse.
Yeah.
Now, there's some interesting things about fusions here that need to be thought about.
Go on.
Does Malachite have her own separate personality in this situation? Because every other fusion we've seen does, but she speaks with Lapis's and Jasper's voice.
It's because it's an imperfect fusion because Jasper doesn't want to fuse into a new entity. They're both vying for control.
Yeah. It's sort of actually one of the neatest ways I've seen it is on a fan blog.
Mm-hmm.
That there's just 3 separate personalities inhabiting this mind.
There's Lapis, Jasper, and Malachite.
Yeah. Malachite's kind of a retarded child in that instance, but yeah.
I don't like that idea.
It actually worked pretty well, but yeah. And then, Garnet has her line.
They're really bad for each other.
Yeah.
Again, no, I'm still caught up on the line. Come on, just say yes. 99 no's and 1 yes is still a yes.
That's a very rapey line.
Mm-hmm.
Though, to be honest, I don't see why Lapis couldn't have done what she does to Malachite, sort of just summoning water powers to grab Jasper and...
It would be too slow.
You think so?
I think it would be too slow. I think Malachite would have kind of pummeled her before anything kind of...
I think the gems would have protected her.
Possibly. But I think Amethyst and Pearl would seem to be very ineffectual against Jasper. I just don't think they have the strength to kind of do anything. Garnet's the only one who's got any kind of chance of beating her, and I think that Jasper is still stronger than Garnet, but she was just, I don't know, taken off guard, taken by surprise. I think that if they kind of continued fighting, then Jasper would have won out overall. I also think that like when they're fusing, Lapis would have had more power. She would have been able to use Malachite's power.
So you think it was done for the stat boost?
Yeah, because Jasper is a very strong gem, and
Okay.
like we have seen gems, I think, break
Well, yeah,
out of these water like bonds before. If it was just Lapis using her own power, then I think Jasper could possibly have just broken free of like the water chains.
Quite possibly. Yeah, I think that's a good point, actually, yeah. Because fusion massively multiplies power when we look at Garnet.
Yeah.
You know, Garnet's so powerful almost to be OP.
And I just don't see Ruby and Sapphire on their own being that strong.
No. Though there is fan art of those two fighting Jasper, and it's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. I imagine it would be. But I imagine it would be an unfair fight.
Well, yeah, Jasper's like 4 times their height.
Jasper would just kind of take out the mage and then just take on the fighter one-on-one.
Well, no, it's just that they're both sort of on Jasper, biting her and pummeling her, and Jasper's just ignoring it. It's by the Hash Boogie, the guy I send you a lot of fan art of.
Yeah. He does do a lot of good art.
The Staboni guy.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually put in a request for some Staboni art, so...
Fair.
I've asked him to do Staboni and the gang getting ready for Halloween.
Yeah, topical. Maybe you'll get your wish.
He does requests for people all the time. I think I've actually had him do something for me before.
Alright. It's good that you remember.
Well, I know I had another artist do something for me.
So, where do we start? We have talked a lot about it already. It's kind of hard to kind of go through it and not just divulge into the episode. We've been waiting for this for so long.
I mean, well, what is there to say? It's just a really, really good episode.
I was just so exhausted by the end of it.
Well, just imagine what this would have been after a Stephen bomb. You know, of the episodes.
Dude, I have just had a Stephen bomb.
I suppose technically you have, yeah.
I've just watched 6 episodes
In
twice
1 day.
over in one day.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, there is a really nice line when they get back to Earth. Forgot about that.
Where Connie calls up Stephen.
No, it's the bit where they've been released from the rubble, they're celebrating, we're all alive, and Stephen's like, Garnet, you were a fusion all this time?
Oh yeah, and I was like, oh yeah, sorry. We were going to tell you on your birthday.
Yeah.
And Stephen's like, you can still do it, you can still tell me. I'll pretend like I didn't know.
Also, the way Amethyst reacts, I don't think she spent much time with Ruby and Sapphire.
No, I don't think she has. It's like, you got to meet Ruby and Sapphire? I'm so jealous.
Yeah, it's like, oh, those guys are celebrities around here. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we got to see Lapis again. And she is still prime waifu material.
Would you really have Lapis over Pearl?
That's a very good question.
Would you make them fight for your affection?
No. Maybe? No, I mean, like, maybe I would choose Lapis over Pearl, not maybe I would have them fight. That's not what I was going for.
Cavort for me, concubines! Cavort!
Then again, they are both gems, and gem culture doesn't seem to have any problem with polyamory.
Really?
Dude, they're basically living in a commune. Well, they're all in a big relationship with each other, aren't they? Essentially.
Maybe.
In the temple, they are.
I mean, it is specifically said that that's weird.
It said that the fusion was weird.
No, the situation as a whole is weird.
By whom?
The Dark Lord Sucrose.
Oh, it's weird for gem culture.
Yeah. It's actually kind of weird and hippie-ish.
They are a hippie commune.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so Lapis wouldn't be into that.
Or maybe she would. I mean, she was, you know.
She's still a homeworld gem, essentially.
True. Perhaps not. And, the Homeworld gems do seem a bit more prudish.
Yeah, I like Pearl, but I think Lapis would probably be better suited. Maybe. I don't know. Don't make me choose! That's all I can say.
That you cannot choose your love.
I have terrible time choosing.
Though, would you live in the temple with them?
Say again?
Would you live in the temple with them?
Possibly. It would do horrible things to my mental state. No.
What, being around Amethyst?
Oh, you mean just like live in the temple with amethysts, garnet, and pearl?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, in the same way Stephen does.
They live in the temple, and I live in the house outside. I live in the shed.
That's a really nice house. I wouldn't mind living in that kind of house.
Yeah, so we've talked about the spaceship design, which is awesome. We've talked about the nose. Can I just call her nose gem? It's so much easier to remember than Jasper.
Nose face.
Also, Jasper's design does kind of change. It feels like she looks very different, like in the second episode in Jailbreak than she does in Return. Just because the colour design is so different, because when we first see her, it's kind of everything is green because of the spaceship. But inside with like the yellow and orangey red, she looks a lot different.
I think it's because she's not wearing a cape anymore.
That too.
The cape's the big thing. Also, there isn't the ominous glow.
Yeah, I know. I'm like saying like the colour shift just kind of makes a very striking difference between like the two designs.
It does.
And I don't know, she is just always menacing.
Yep. And creepy as hell on the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. Ooh, but neither of them are dead.
No, just they'll never be seen again.
You have seen TV shows before, right, Keir?
I know, I'm just fucking with you.
Well, depending on how long it goes on, you said that they kind of confirmed a third series?
I believe they have, yes.
So I would not be surprised if they come back.
We do have another episode with Lapis in it, yeah.
Oh, we do? Oh, already?
But it's in a dream.
Okay.
So...
I don't think that
who
counts.
knows? Well, turns out Stephen has the ability to enter other people's dreams.
Oh, that's a bit odd.
Yes, only his ability.
Other things that are said, other things that Jasper says. Fusion is just a cheap tactic to make weak gems stronger. Quit embarrassing yourselves.
Yeah.
So, fusion is also looked down upon?
Yes.
But, I don't know, is it not like a valid tactic to kind of become stronger weapons? Because Jasper, like, immediately after getting her ass handed to her, she does exactly that. She fuses. So she's basically just embarrassing herself.
Pretty much. But,
She doesn't care.
She just wants to beat Garnet at this point.
Well, she's been insulted by being defeated by a weak fusion. So she just needs to win. The ends justify the means.
Or maybe they don't.
Who knows? Anything else you wanted to say about the song?
It is awesome.
It is awesome. Go listen to it. Okay. We are getting good stuff for this episode. I'm feeling good about this finale.
Well,
it's been a long day.
Yeah. And now, the end is near. And so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full, travelled each and every highway, and more than this, I did it My way.
And that's the song that you were going to close us out on.
Yeah, so we're done now.
We're done now. Okay. Thank you for staying with us for the entirety of this, which I'm sure none of you have. But
No.
if
But it's
ever
been
you had, then thank you very much. We've had a decent amount of fun recording these. And who knows? Maybe one day we'll do a similar thing and it'll be much better.
But until then, we have other podcasts planned.
We have other podcasts. We're planning on doing just like an ordinary podcast. And we're also planning to do D&D sessions, which, Keir, you're running. We're gonna keep producing things, of course. We're artists. We strive to create.
Well, artists in,
in the loosest possible term.
quotes.
The loosest
Yes.
possible sense. Sorry that we didn't kind of talk about everything in as much detail, but it's a very, very exhausting episode to get through. It's very good, but it's very exhausting.
And
oh, you were going to say something, Keir?
yeah, well, no, it's exhausting, but it's sort of also something you have to. It's an experience. It's like being a fusion.
No, I'm not trying to say like anything negative about it by saying that it's exhausting. It's just that good, I think. I'm not sure. It's an emotional roller coaster.
That must be seen to be believed.
Yeah, it's like always opt in to see it if you have the chance. I mean, say you've seen it 10 times and someone says it's like, hey, we're going to watch the finale again. Like, yeah, you always want to do it. But yes, that's all. So, again, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you again for all of our other Expletives included projects. I said before that because we've only had one mention of the F word, we'll just kind of end just by both of us saying it one after the other. So, thank you for listening. Good night and fuck.
Fuck.